sure, should you be eating 3 boxes of like muffins? Not the best choice.
The better question is, should the boxes
like,
of muffins be so fucking delicious? That's better. What are they?
But like,
does
things? Your body need more carbs? Maybe. Yeah. Does your body need more protein?
I think it needs more protein. Yeah.
Speaking of change, let's talk about your sugar addiction.
Oh man.
Is it really sugar? It's more like, well, I think it's like flour and sugar addiction. I think some people think like, I'm not really addicted to sugar, but like you're eating grains all day long. You're eating flour all day long. It's like, they're like same. You know what I mean? It's the same response to your body. It's spiking insulin. It's giving you that release. So.
Yeah, I struggle. I just overeat. Like I'm at the point now where if I can eliminate probably like one binge, I'll be good. Because I realize with that calories, I'm like, dude, I'll be so good all day, and then I'll have that one session where I'll just sit down and eat through the same amount of calories I've had all day. I'm like, fuck, I've just doubled my caloric intake in like 10 minutes or 5 minutes. And I'm like, fuck.
Well, I think part of the issue, are you still doing macros? Like, are you getting enough protein in?
Maybe it changes week to week. Like,
because when you were really getting adequate protein levels, like high levels, I noticed you doing that, binging a lot less.
Yeah, I know that's consistent. Yep.
I think part of it is that like you eat a little bit too. I think you don't eat enough like throughout the day. So I feel like your body starts like really triggering you to like cave because it needs more fuel. And then, you know, kind of naturally as humans, we're like, oh, carbs, oh, carbs. Yeah. But really, it could be water, it could be protein that you actually need, but you're just reaching for the carbs.
Yeah, I think it's emotional. I think it's an emotional.
Well,
thing.
that has a definitely
That's a big piece of it. And I think, you know, it's interesting because now it's funny because this is something I've struggled with my entire life. And now I think the slippery slope that I'm on now is that because I'm working out so much that it doesn't affect me the same way. So like if I was not working out and eating like binging like that, I'd be like, oh God, I feel like so like terrible. Like not only guilty that I'm not working out, but I feel like shit. With it now. But yeah, now I'm working out. I'm like, dude, I feel like my body needed it, and my weight's flat, so it's like. But that's the thing. Doesn't need that much.
That's my point. Is that like, sure, should you be eating 3 boxes of like muffins? Not the best choice.
The better question is, should the muffins be so fucking delicious? That's what are they?
But like, does your body need more carbs? Maybe. Yeah. Does your body need more protein?
I think it needs more protein. Yeah.
So I mean, you have to like listen to, you know, your body. But just because your body's saying grab the sugar, that doesn't mean that you need sugar. Like, look at your other macros. You know.
I don't know that it's saying grab. I mean, I don't.
I never see you binging on anything besides carbs.
Yeah, well, that's sugar. I mean, yeah. So, like, that's fair.
You know,
I could that or like fatty meats, which I think would have the.
But you don't binge on fatty meats.
I mean, I eat quite.
You eat adequate levels for your body weight.
I don't know. I feel like the lean meats are tougher to eat. That's what makes it so hard.
Yeah, but like fatty. Okay, I mean.
I'm talking about ribeye. Ribeye. I can eat ribeye all day long. I'm eating too much. It's just a fatty meat. I don't think you should eat that much ribeye. Like.
But I mean that's. Depends on like so many factors. Like depends on what's going on in your body, your blood work. Like my cholesterol's never been better. My health, like my arteries have never been better. I eat ribeye all the time. But for my goals and what I need and how my body operates, like my doctor and I decide that like you can eat fatty meats because your arteries are protected and you need the iron and you need the fat, you need the calories. So I mean that's just. Yeah, for some people, no. But, like, I think meats like ribeye get a bad rep because
I'm just saying it's really easy to eat a lot of it. So, to me, the things that are good for you that you should be eating a lot of.
You're not eating too much ribeye. I promise you that.
Well,
I've seen you eat.
I've stopped eating it just because I've eaten more lean cuts. I think that's the challenge. The challenge is eating leaner cuts of meat.
When I see a box and half of cereal go down, that's when I'm like, all right. Should I say something?
You know, it's funny. And then you eat the keto version, and I got shits for 2 days after that.
Yeah, all the Max is intolerant. No, there's whey in there. You are intolerant to dairy.
I've been drinking milk. That's not true. I've also found that's not true.
He's in denial.
I'm not because actually, you know, see, here's how I know that's not true. It's because I'll drink those Fairlife protein shakes, which are dairy. I mean, they have like lactase enzymes in them, so they're not dairy free, but essentially they are. 100% fine. I'll drink 2 of them.
Yeah, but I mean, that's like saying if you eat grass-fed butter, I eat grass-fed butter and I don't have a reaction, so I can eat dairy. It's like, no.
I'm just saying
The milk solids have been
drinking milk
removed.
and not having a reaction.
But the milk solids have been removed,
Oh, okay,
correct?
Yeah. I don't traffic in this area.
This is a question that came in. It's like, how do I get off of sugar or whatever, or drinks, like sugary drinks or whatever? So, I mean, I always tell my clients there's a few ways that you can do this. If you're on like, let's say sugar addiction, a few ways you can do this. One, you can wean off of it. Two, you can go cold turkey off of it. Three, you can go cold turkey or wean off of it and try to replace it with something else. And that something else could be going outside for a walk, drinking, what's that soda called that we drink sometimes? The root.
Sevia?
No, it's not Zevia. It's the other one. The Olipop. The Olipop, it's like, it's kind of made of like roots.
Oh, yeah. That's
ingredients.
fucking delicious.
It's really good. It's a good substitute. Yeah, it has prebiotics in it or something. You could try to replace it with something like that. I mean, Zevia is like okay, but it has like some like fake sugars in it, and sometimes it irritates people's stomachs. You can get like gassy and stuff, but like that's okay too. And there's some caffeine in it, so just FYI. But like that's what I always suggest to people. And if you look at your diet, like I don't really recommend tracking like your calories or your macros or sugar or whatever like long term, but it is informational to track it for a few days and like just see what you typically eat and see where your macro balance is. It's like, holy shit, I'm eating 79 grams of sugar every day. Like when you see it on paper in front of your face after you've tracked everything you've eaten all day, that like makes you think twice before you go for that second dessert or whatever throughout the day or whatever. Because realistically, we should be eating under 50.
That's what I was gonna ask.
Functional
Under
medicine
50?
says 25 to 35 grams of sugar per day for adults. But like, even depending on like your activity levels and stuff, like I would say if you want to go up to like 50, maybe you can get away with it. But anything more than that is really just, it's not necessary, So if you're trying to come off of something and, you track for a day or two and you're like totaling above 100, I mean, there is some room for improvement here. And some people do really good cold turkey. Some people do not do well cold turkey and they have to wean slowly over time. And either one works fine, and then once you do wean, you can replace it, instead of like wanting to grab a candy bar, like maybe you're going to have some strawberries because it's still a little bit sweet. You still get a little bit of natural sugar in there. And you could also replace it with things like chewing gum. There's this one gum that I chew that I always forget the name of.
Pure.
It's those little chiclets.
Pure.
That's a really good option that you could use. So I think, awareness of what you're eating in the first place is key. Awareness. Like if you're addicted to Diet Coke, like, do you know that you're addicted to Diet Coke? Like, can you go 3 days without drinking Diet Coke and it not like ruining your day or like thinking about it nonstop? Well, then there's probably a slight like addiction there, So like, do you want to be addicted to Diet Coke? And the thing is that sometimes for some people, Diet Coke used to be wine and it is the better option right now, and for other people, Diet Coke has been the crutch for a really long time and you're looking to improve upon that and you want to replace it with water or Olipop or something like that. So you're going to start adding that in, I drink Olipop a couple times a week or whatever. Kind of helps like settle my stomach. I feel like sometimes at night, nice little like relax. But yeah, that's what I would say. And yeah, I mean, anything to add there for sugar addiction?
Yeah, awareness is key. That's everything because it's not knowledge. I think a lot of people get to the point where it's like, hey, if you don't know what you should be eating, that's one step. I think a lot of people know what they should be eating. They just don't know how to do it.
Yeah.
And that's where, for me, where I'm at on my journey is something I struggle with all the time. And I've really isolated. Like I've isolated to these 5 times or say just one time a day. It's not every day. It's usually one time a day, later in the day, because I prefer not to eat. I could not eat breakfast. I could eat one meal a day.
Yeah, but that's his problem. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying. I'm talking about your personal preferences, right? Because what you're trying to match is your personal preferences with what you should be doing.
Yeah.
Because what's not hard to do is what you're like have a proclivity to do. So you're trying to marry those two things. So that's my problem is that I could just eat one meal a day. Problem is, Because I'll feel great the entire day until I get hungry. And then I'm like, oh, shit. Now I'm like, that's a slippery slope for me.
Yeah, it doesn't work. And the thing is Max knows what to do. Max has done my slim down. He's done my 21-day fasting challenge. He's done all the things. His issue has always been maintaining that into a lifestyle long term. Like, he's very good at doing things with a goal in mind. He's like his athletic mindset is very good at that. Okay, I'm training for X. I'm dieting for X. I'm changing my diet for Y. And then when I get to Y, when I get to the finish line, it's always been difficult for him to take those protocols or those new habits and implement them in a balanced way to make sort of a lifestyle plan long term. But as far as like getting off of sugar, replacing like Diet Coke or wine or whatever, like we do that every month in the slim down, that you could do it together as a group. I think that's part of what really helps people, is having like accountability and motivation and support from their peers, but also support from coaches that have taken tens of thousands of people through this and weaned them off of sugar and replaced it with healthier options and been able to get them towards optimal health and also towards their goals. And the thing is, if you can just dive in with us and start for the first 3 to 5 days, you will feel different after day 4, day 5, to the point where it will be enough motivation for you to be like, I see it. The grass is green on the other side. Like, I'm going to keep going. And then you have so much support of hundreds of other people that are going through it with you that same month in the group. We run challenges every month. So if that's a way that would help you, like with that community aspect, coaching aspect, we're all in this together aspect. And then also you have everything laid out for you that you could just follow along with, like don't think, just do kind of thing. Then the Slim Down would be such a great program for you to do. And yeah, you can get a free trial to go into Birth Recovery Center and check it out and just get your feet wet. And if it's not for you, you can always like cancel your free trial. But that's what I recommend to anyone coming through as like that first plan they do to like reset your gut health, get off of sugar, get off of flour, get off of carbs. And we still have carbs, just the right kind of carbs at the right times of the day. So something just to keep in mind.
Well, that's a great point too. And that we take that same approach with everything we specialize in, right? Because it's like, I say it's a team all the time, right? There's if you're looking at improving on something, there's 4 gaps in instructional design, right? Knowledge, skill, environment, and motivation. So the knowledge one is why you know what I mean? Like your goal is our goal as a company is to lower the barrier of knowledge for all specialties, right?
Yeah.
Functional medicine, nutrition, sleep training, everything, right? The skill piece is why we have coaches, right? You can work with the coaches to get that ironed out and turn that knowledge into a skill, right? And the environment piece is huge. I mean, that's a huge piece of who we are as a social species. Is like, it sucks to do things by yourself, right? That's why we want to do it with friends and struggle together and win together and all that other stuff. And then that begets the motivation piece. And like, that's, you either have it or you don't, right? We can lead you to water, but we can't make you drink. And that's where, so when you do have success on the Slim Down, you kind of got to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, I did this. You know what I mean? Like I wanted this for myself, and they didn't they may have motivated me, but I'm the one that actually took the action. So, and I think that to me, that's a very helpful, like 4-part framework to understand like where you're struggling. Because for me with food, it's obviously the motivation. I know what to do. I know how to do it. I'm in the right place. Like, you're not bringing in like pizzas every night. You know what I mean? My environment's good. It's just, how bad do you want to make the change?
Discipline.
Yeah. How disciplined are you exactly?
Yeah. That goes back to finding the root cause. What triggers you emotionally to not be able to be disciplined and control yourself in that way?